I got tired of people saying, we want to change society, therefore there ought to be a law. I mean, it's like a natural connection. I think you learn it in kindergarten somehow. I don't know, but somehow you grew up thinking if you want to make the world a better place, then the government should pass a law. I was just looking at how many laws, for example, the state of Utah passed so far this legislative session, and it's mind-boggling.
It is.
And then the comment at the end of the newspaper was, but none of these things will likely be noticed by Utah citizens because they're all, these nuanced, and I started going, this is a strange world we live in. But what they're trying to do is engineer society with the law instead of using the law to create this framework that then is a equal framework that everybody
encourages
can participate
entrepreneurialism and innovation.
Right.
Innovation comes from people who see the system and figure out how they can make a profit by doing things better.
Right.
And socialism is, we'll take care of you. You don't need to innovate. You don't need to bring value.
Well, matter of fact, we don't want you to innovate because you might challenge what we come up with.
You might take us out of power, and we like power.
Right. Well, so what we've done is we've started to organize the Free Capitalists. We have forums that every Thursday night we have groups of people that get together and study the primer and controversial things like the Declaration of Independence and
Bummer, man. God is in there.
Milton Friedman, Adam Smith, Ronald Reagan, Ezra Taft Benson, Ayn Rand. We're real dangerous people. Well, anyway, I guess they are dangerous people, quite candidly. But anyway, we have these forums, and I got tired of these forums just being study groups. And so what we did is we started to organize in each county county councils. Free Capitalist councils. Mm-hmm. And they're just volunteers. It's a civic service organization, which basically what we want to do is we want to show the communities what free citizens can do without passing a law to make the community a better place. And so we started creating these county councils, and it's hilarious. You get two kinds of reactions when you tell people you're creating county councils. The first is, by what authority? And we're like, no, you don't understand. It's just free citizens getting together. We have a public meeting. We have an agenda, and we have ideas. We this community. We want to figure out a way to get a park. We down in Mapleton, right in your neck of the woods. There was a neighborhood got together, said we wanted a park. The city wasn't helping. The Mapleton city wasn't helping get a park. So we got a group of investors together, and we've been working on how they can buy a chunk of land. And this group of people are just going to it's going to be a private park, but it's going to be controlled by this homeowners association. But the whole idea was, let's show people how you can do something without passing a law. And, let's show people how free citizens can make the world a better place, to kind of get out of this mentality, or to challenge this mentality that you have to hold elective office if you want to engineer society. See, I look to people like you who hold elective office as having a great trust to protect me and my fellow citizens from the government taking away my freedoms. I don't ask you for a handout. I don't ask you to give me anything other than give me protection. And that's what you have. You have a big gun. Mm-hmm. And if you yield that gun with the principles of capitalism, I like what you call it. Anglo-American constitutionalism.
As opposed to Franco-German socialism.
Amen.
And by the way, if you look at what Obama or Clinton says, it is by historic precedent entirely consistently socialism.
These community councils, this is where I got the idea, this townships and wards idea for the majesty of God's law. If you talk to Jewel Kimber, she'll pull it out. Those quotes are highlighted in the majesty of God's law, because I remember thinking, literally Jefferson said that's what his hope in America was. That at the end of the day, and I'm going to put words in his mouth, but at the end of the day, our self-interest is more adequately protected by being active in a local township, in a local council, and doing things there and modeling good behavior than in anything else we can do.
Rick, did you capture that statement? Did your I know your audience has its brains turned on. You have just said, you articulated the only hope for American freedom.
Amen.
It is the only hope for real freedom in America.
Right.
That is local people taking responsibility for local government, demanding that they get local government and control of local government. Can I tell you one quick story?
Yeah.
I was talking to Norm Bangeter years and years and years ago, and we had a whole bunch of money, $50 million surplus that we were going to give to school districts. And it was going to be directed for activities in school districts. I said, Norm, why don't you just give it to the school districts and let them do what they want with it? And I love Norm Bangeter, wonderful human being. He held up his finger and said, Chris, I don't think you understand. The local districts don't want the money unrestrained, because then they have to have a board meeting and they have to listen to their parents and they have to go through a process, and they don't want to do that.
Right.
So how are you going to be free if you're not willing to say, I want to be part of the process of deciding how money is spent on my kids?
There's a statue in Washington, D.C., right outside the Smithsonian. It's got a Trojan warrior. And I remember, it's been a long time since I've been to Washington, D.C., and I remember the engraving. It was seared into my brain. It says, eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. You've got to be watchful. You've got to be willing to take on that responsibility to protect liberty.
Because there are other people who will do it for you.
They'll do it for you. They'll do it for you.